5 meters beneath Alexandria's harbor, between fallen temple columns and the faces of forgotten gods. A wooden hull emerged from the silt. It measured 115 feet. It had been dark for 2,000 years. And according to a Greek historian who walked these streets when they were still above water, vessels exactly like this one carried the most powerful people in the ancient world, on journeys meant only for pleasure. The ocean didn't claim this ship. The earth itself pulled it under, surfaced with something unexpected, not treasure, not weapons, a pleasure boat. The wreck lies in Alexandria's eastern harbor, scattered across a debris field of marble statues, toppled columns, and temple foundations that once formed the heart of Ptolemaic Egypt's royal quarter. The vessel is fragmented, hull timbers, structural beams, remnants of a large central cabin. But the dimensions are unmistakable. 35 meters long, built for rowers, designed not to carry grain or soldiers, but people who had time to waste on the water. Frank Gaudio, the French archaeologist leading the survey, recognized immediately what his team had found. Not just another ancient wreck, but something rare. Columns lying in parallel rows, statues still facing the directions they were carved to face. And among them, the dark geometry of worked wood. The timbers are remarkably preserved, the joinery still visible. Mortise and tenon construction, the ancient shipbuilding technique that locked planks together edge to edge. It's not a derelict scattered beyond recognition. It's a vessel whose structure can still be read, still be understood. But the ship's design matches something more specific than coincidence. In the 1st century BC, the Greek geographer Strabo visited Alexandria and described boats exactly like this: long, oared, fitted with decorated cabins, used by Egypt's elite to glide along the Nile and coastal waters. He wrote about them not as tools of war or commerce, but as symbols of status, floating palaces. And now one of them is lying in the same harbor where Strabo may have seen its sisters at anchor. The environment slowed decomposition. The silt created a barrier against biological activity. The debris field is tight. The ship and the temple ruins are within meters of each other, suggesting this area was part of a densely developed waterfront, perhaps a royal docking area or ceremonial harbor, where such vessels would have been kept when not in use. And the preservation is visible, showing how each plank was carefully fitted to the next. Even traces of Greek graffiti have been found on some timbers, marks left by builders or crew members whose names are otherwise lost to history. This was a ship that represented investment, skill, craftsmanship, until a specific story. The vessel shows no evidence of cargo transport. Its design speaks to a single purpose: carrying people in comfort and style. Based on historical descriptions and the layout visible in the wreck, archaeologists estimate it was rowed by a team of about 20 oarsmen, with a luxuriously decorated central cabin for passengers. That design tells a story of similar boats as settings for gatherings of Alexandria's elite, floating venues where philosophy, politics, and pleasure blended under awnings and along cushioned decks. These were not working ships, they were stages. The Ptolemaic ruling class was Greek by culture, Egyptian by circumstance. They built temples to Egyptian gods. The keel that bore the weight, the planks that kept the water out, the joints that were fitted by hands, we'll never know. Someone ordered this ship built. Someone paid the shipwrights, supplied the materials, oversaw the construction. Someone else may have maintained it, replaced worn planks, kept it seaworthy, and others rowed it, steered it, prepared it for each voyage. All of those people are gone. Their names were never recorded, or if they were, the records haven't survived. What remains is the object they created, a structure of wood that outlasted the city that built it. In the surrounding ruins, divers have recovered statues, pottery, jewelry, but the ship itself carries only the marks of its makers, culture of leisure in an empire. Not monumental architecture, but the quieter infrastructure of daily life, the things people used because they could, not because they had to. And in that sense, this wreck is a reminder that history isn't just made by kings and generals. It's also made by shipwrights and rowers, people whose names are lost, but whose work remains. And now, these silent witnesses are starting to speak. Recovering a 2,000-year-old wooden ship from the seabed is not a matter of lifting it to the surface. It's a matter of choosing identified with the royal quarter, and the vessel dates to the Ptolemaic period when she ruled. It's tempting to imagine her aboard a vessel like this, conducting negotiations while gliding along the Nile. But proximity is not proof. Without inscriptions, without anything uniquely royal, the connection remains speculative. What's certain is that this ship